Alright, everybody, so let's just get into this review. Don't mind me while I have some lunch while I'm doing this. I just got a chance to watch the episode, and I'm gonna do this right now so I don't. So, I'm not doing the review too long after the episode initially aired. So let's talk about Benny. So, he's fighting with this guy over the gun. He gets the gun, he's holding it on the guy, and the guy is all like, "Please don't kill me, please." And he says, "I didn't do it. I didn't do it." Benny says, "I didn't do it." And the guy says, okay, I believe you. So Benny just, after that, he takes the gun, he throws it down, and he runs. Now let's talk about Candace and RK. Now RK, okay, so let's first off, RK really wants to, he wanted to get in Candace's good graces, I guess, because he's like, Rocky gave you up to Oscar, and he was talking to him about, how he took these pictures for you and all of that, and, I guess Candace had come in a different way or something, because RK says I saw you coming in or whatever, and she's like, "You're sneaky, aren't you?" And so RK is up in her room, and he's like, I want you to show me." And he's like, getting ready to take his stuff off, and she's like, "What? Why? I want to see why you're so good." And she's like, "I'm a woman." And he's like, "Well, who better to show me?" So he had the answer for that. And she's like, no, but I got somebody for you. I want to send you. And he's like, I'm not doing any dudes. And he says, no. She says, no, this is a woman, an older woman. And he's like, oh, he wasn't really feeling it at first, and he's still trying to get with Candace, and she's like, "Okay, let me see what you're working with." So he takes his, opens up his pants, and she's like, no, grow up or whatever. So I guess she was not into his equipment or the size of it, and so she just sends him over to Veronica. And so down in the bar, Jim and Oscar, they're having a conversation. He's like, "Where's my money? Where's my money?" Jim's calling it his money. And like I said before, Jim was just going to take Wyatt's money and use it for himself, because he keeps saying, "My money, where's my money?" And Oscar tells him what Candace did. Well, she drugged me and this and that. And he like puts his hand on Oscar, and Oscar's like, "Take your hands off me." And Jim's just like, he's throwing all sorts of kinds of threats around, like, "You better have this money in 24 hours. Oscar's like, 24 hours? And that was that. And Jim was mocking Oscar for saying, "Take your hand off me." And I'm like, and he's like mocking Oscar as if Oscar had no right to say that. And I'm like, I'm sick of Jim. Jim just needs to go. She needs to go the way of Amanda. Jim is just, at this point, he's just tired and annoying, and I'm sick of the character. So, let's talk about Benny and Mitch now. Now, Benny, he meets up with Mitch outside of Hannah's house, and Hannah can hear what's going on. She's upstairs in her room, and she can hear what's going on downstairs outside. And Benny tells Mitch, "Okay, so I went over there to the bar to try to talk to your uncle. He's dead." And Mitch is like, "Did you kill my uncle?" And Mitch was like, he was upset. And Benny's like, "No, I didn't do it. And Mitch is like, "All right," and he drives out. And I'm starting to think, okay, so is Mitch going to end up being an enemy of Benny? Because he told him, he's like saying, "I told you that you weren't going to be able to get this money. I told you, you shouldn't have gone over there." And I don't know if Mitch is going to be an enemy of Benny now, because You know, his uncle is dead. It's not clear what happened. You know, Benny was having the issue with giving the money back, and you know, he was over there when Vinny is, you know, he was in the same bar as Vinny, who is now deceased. So it looks bad. So Mitch goes on, and Vinny comes on the house, and Hannah's like, "Tell me what happened. Just tell me, damn it." She was mad, and she picks up on it immediately. She's like, "It was this money. It was that money. It was that money, wasn't it? I felt it in my spirit." He tells her what happened, and he wants to call Veronica, and she's like, no, and no. But he's going to do it anyway. So speaking of Veronica, Veronica's at her house. She's still drunk, and she hears the knock at the door. She thinks it's David. She's like, not David, Derek. And she's like, who could turn this down? Who could turn this down? But it's not Derek. It's RK. And RK just walks in, and she's like, who are you? And she's not feeling it at first, and until he opens up his shirt, and she's like, okay. She's basically, okay, let's talk. So let's get to David's house, and somebody's bumming on the bam, 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 and David and Erica wake up, and David, he is just like, this time he's not having it. He's ready to, to roll. So he goes to the door. What do you want? He thinks it's Veronica, but no, it's Jim, which is really no better. Jim's just being all kinds of rude, and Erica's there on the stairs, and like, oh, well, you've got some whore here. And I'm like, Jim, come on now. You're going too far, and granted, Erica's an escort. You really don't have any right calling her a whore. That's just disrespectful. Okay, and so, Erica, she goes on upstairs, and she calls Candace, and she's trying to, warn Candace, okay, well, Jim's over here, he knows about you and the money. Candace hangs up on her. Erica calls her back, and she's still trying to give her the details of what's going on. Erica can hear everything. She hears how David has contacted Lloyd at the bank about the money, and he's saying, okay, so the money was wired into the Crier Company account. It was in an LLC. The LLC member was Candace Young. And then furthermore, the money was wired to a Benjamin Young. So now it's out there that Benny has the money. The money is in Benny's account. So that's going to cause Benny some more problems. So let's go on back to Veronica and RK. They're having their conversation. RK has this bottle, just turning it up. And Veronica just tells him, she's not going to be a sugar mama. And he's like, well, wait until you see what I can do. And she's like, no. And then Benny comes by, and she, of course, she doesn't want anything to do with Benny. And he's like, I'm in trouble. I need to talk to you. And then she's grabbing RK, kissing him as if it makes any difference to Benny. You know what? Benny clearly wasn't attached to Veronica like that, They did what they did, but it was not like he really liked her. Not enough to get jealous. And so she sends RK upstairs to wait for her in the bedroom. And, RK goes up there and he starts stealing. He takes some of her jewelry out of the drawer, then he goes in her closet, he gets some more jewelry, steals it, and he's stealing a little bit. So it's like, okay, well, maybe she won't miss this. And I'm like, it's Veronica, of course she's gonna miss every little thing, and she's gonna know who took it. And then he tries to get in the safe, and I'm like, how are you gonna get in that safe? There's no way you can get in that safe. And he's like, I'm gonna get all her money. And I'm like, you don't know who you're messing with. Not Veronica, you're not gonna get all her money. You'll be lucky to escape with your life messing with her. So, who else are we going? Okay. So, let's talk about Landon and Charles. And Charles is basically, he's on the same thing. He's like, I want to move to Savannah. Landon's trying to be like, why do you want to do that? Tell me what. And he's just like, I like her. I like Candace. And Charles, he's being stalkerish now. I mean, Candace says she doesn't want anything to do with him, yet he's still trying to push himself on her like, oh, well, I'm going to move to her town. You know, he's just like, basically, she will love me. And Landon's really not trying to talk sense into Charles. He's just like, well, his issue is with, he wants Charles for himself, and he's really not trying to talk sense to him. He's just letting his own feelings influence what he's saying. He's not talking from like, okay, you need to stop this. You're about to be president of the United States. You can't be stalking somebody. You're not being sane here. And he actually tells Charles like, you're equipped to be president or something like that. And I'm saying, no, he's not, if he's basically stalking a woman who says that she did not want anything to do with him. And so once again, Landon tries to take off Charles' shoes, and I'm like, come on, Landon, stop it. And he's like, people are going to want to do this for you. People are going to want to. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that no one wants to take off the president's shoes. That's just strange that anybody would want to do that unless they were trying to, get with him like Landon is trying to. So Landon, he says, well, let's have a drink. And Charles is like, no, I need to leave. Landon's all, come on. And I'm like, it's clear what Landon's trying to do. If I get him sloshed enough, something will happen. And that's what I said. I don't think Landon is really in love with Charles. I think he just wants to sleep with Charles more than anything else. I don't think he's really in love with him. So, let's get back to Veronica and Benny. So Benny wants help, and she's like, take your clothes off. And she wanted him to apologize for what happened to Melissa. He's like, okay, fine, whatever, I need help. And then she's telling him, take your clothes off, but he won't do it. And finally she's like, all right, and she just tells him, he's gone through the story, and she's like, okay, well, just go home. The police don't work that fast. And I don't know if Veronica, I don't think she's gonna really help him. She's got real goods on him now, and she's going to use that because she was angry at him. She's gonna use it, and I have no doubt about that. So Hannah goes over to Catherine's house to talk to her, and she's like, Benny's in trouble. He borrowed some money from some dangerous people, and now the guy is, dead, and we need a lawyer. And Catherine, she's like, because when Hannah says the bar on 7th, Catherine's like, she's thinking to herself like Wyatt. But she doesn't, obviously, she didn't say that to Hannah. She just thought it, and and of course Catherine is like, Veronica and can help, and she's like, and Hannah doesn't want her helping. And Catherine's like, if she's the one that can help you, you've got to use her. And so anyway, Catherine just says, I'll call Marty in the morning and we'll get some help for him. And so here comes Jim, and he's like, Hannah. And Hannah just walks out like, I don't want to say nothing to you. And so he wants to know what all that was about. And Catherine just says, okay, her son got a DUI. and I need to help. She wanted help, and he's in jail, and so Jim's like, I need to talk to him. The money, Wyatt's money, is in his account, and so Benny's got all sorts of mess going on now. And so to wrap up the episode, we finish up with Wyatt and Jeffrey, and of course, Crazy. So, Jeffrey really has nothing to say to Wyatt other than, I've called a facility. You're a danger to yourself. They're going to take you away. And Wyatt's like, no, they can't do that. They can if I say you're suicidal. And so, Wyatt's like, you're no better than my parents. You're no better than my parents. And, I know Jeffrey's trying to help him, but I always go back to season 1, and I like to, reach back and talk about the other season. I always go back to the season 1 where Wyatt had gotten clean, and, he wasn't really doing that great. But when his girlfriend came back, he was probably going to actually progress and stay clean. But then Jeffrey interfered with that and told those lies and all that, and that just set Wyatt off. And he went out, took the car, and the rest is has led up to this. So Jeffrey's like, what? Let's just do this. He texts them and gets them to bring, call, or did he call? I can't remember. Anyway, he just said, Brent, come on up. And the door opens and it's Crazy, Justin. And Justin's like, oh, and he's trying to be all normal. Like, oh, I was just wanted to make sure you were okay. And blah, 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 and all this. And so the paramedics come, and they just drag Wyatt away. Jeffrey's like, he's a danger to himself. He's just suicidal, all that. He's got to go. Wyatt gets dragged off. He's fighting, but they drag him out the door. And Justin's like, he doesn't get why it's not okay. He should not have been following Jeffrey. So Jeffrey's like, why are you following me? I don't want to see your face anymore. And Justin's like, that makes me crazy when you say that. My home is wherever you are. And Jeffrey is he's played this crazy man. And finally he's just like, Justin's like, what? He's got 2 guns. I'll kill you, and I'll kill the both of us before you leave me. Or no, he said, if I can't have you, no one will. And Jeffrey brought this on himself. Now, granted, Justin is crazy and whacked out. Jeffrey shouldn't have played with him. He knew from the start that something was wrong. When Justin first arrested him and had him in the back of that car, Jeffrey should have never indulged him. And now he's really just played with Justin. He knows that Justin is out of it, and he's all of that, and he should have left Justin alone. He shouldn't keep he shouldn't keep playing with Justin. Okay, let's do this. If I have a weak moment, let's do this, and then, okay, go on. I don't want to see you anymore. And we know Jeffrey said, I don't want to see you anymore, and that would probably only mean, that just means until the next time I want to, But anyway, that was the episode. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to, and I will see you the next time around. Bye.